Welcome to Sphere. I am Price Time, and you're watching Sphere TV. Preon and Chronos shared a Twitter space with Nick Westlake of Offchain Labs to discuss the collaboration between the two protocols on Arbitrum. Chronos is a VE33 DEX with unique maturity-adjusted liquidity positions, coined sticky liquidity. The longer liquidity providers stake their liquidity, the more they earn. In addition, Chronos will be launching their VE33 concentrated liquidity. Preon is a VE33 collateralized debt position or CDP protocol launching soon that will allow 0% interest borrowing. Preon is a subsidiary protocol of Sphere Finance. Sphere is building community-owned DeFi infrastructure composed of synergistic protocols, like DeFi Legos that build on top of each other. Each protocol built by Sphere has its own unique use case and covers what we consider to be valuable areas within DeFi. The benefit of building everything ourselves is that it increases our ability to enhance capital efficiency and symbiosis for the entire ecosystem and for the end user. With all of our DeFi projects built in-house, we can offer lower fees for users, providing high-quality security, brand recognition, and the user confidence of battle-tested code. Sphere's vision is of one low-cost, high-security, and user-friendly ecosystem for all of your DeFi needs. Revenue and governance from that entire ecosystem is then ultimately funneled to Spherians. Another protocol built by Sphere is Dyson, a yield maximizer and auto-compounder. As a whole, Dyson reduces the barrier of entry and simplifies complicated DeFi strategies for all users. Herein lies the first part of the collaboration with Chronos, as Dyson will be the automated liquidity manager or ALM for Chronos's concentrated liquidity pools, making concentrated liquidity yield more accessible and more profitable for all users. Users will be able to deposit and stake their Chronos liquidity into Dyson, and Dyson will keep that liquidity within the active concentrated liquidity range, and will rebalance the position automatically to ensure that the liquidity position is always earning concentrated swap fees, all the while maintaining Chronos' maturity-adjusted CHR reward boosts. What's more, the swap fees generated by these Dyson Chronos ALM vaults can be used to bribe VECHR voters, and because $1 in bribes generally yields more than $1 in emissions, Chronos VE33 concentrated liquidity managed through Dyson can offer liquidity providers more compensation against impermanent loss than is ordinarily available, providing LPers with a greater likelihood of outperforming impermanent loss. Thankfully, the performance history of these vaults will be trackable, thanks to Dyson being able to integrate its ALM solution for Chronos within typical DeFi analytics pages. Dyson offers multiple competitive advantages over other ALMs thanks to rigorous backtesting, off-chain calculations for protection against front-running, rebalancing via 1inch to mitigate slippage, and full utilization of liquidity to maximize fee generation potential. And in the future, it is possible that the Dyson Chronos ALM receipt tokens could be used as collateral in other projects to increase user exposure and create more liquidity depth, swap volume, and therefore incentivization. Also in the future, Dyson plans to offer protocols a custom weighting of both narrow and wide ranges within the same concentrated liquidity vault. These types of tailored vault solutions can reduce slippage on swaps thanks to narrow ranges, while simultaneously making it more difficult for bad players to manipulate price thanks to wide ranges. All of this through a simplified and automated user interface. So this is all very exciting news, but what does it all have to do with Preon? Well, Sphere and Dyson were early launch partners with Chronos, and Dyson has amassed significant voting power over Chronos thanks to SPCHR, the liquid wrapper solution for VECHR, that has become one of our largest, most stable, and most popular liquid wrappers. With that protocol-owned VECHR voting power, Sphere will be able to use Chronos as the liquidity hub for Preon's stablecoin STAR on launch. STAR liquidity on Chronos will be incentivized with Sphere's VECHR holdings and can be further incentivized through bribes. This will create a STAR liquidity sink within Chronos. More liquidity within Chronos will mean more swapping, which will add revenue to VECHR to bootstrap even more incentives within the flywheel. Additionally, with the introduction of Chronos' concentrated liquidity, enforcing the STAR stablecoin peg will become far more cost-effective compared to other DEX solutions, because concentrated liquidity increases virtual liquidity depth, creating increased peg stability. With increased virtual liquidity depth comes increased volume and swap fees for concentrated liquidity pools. And because Dyson will manage these pools and can use swap fees to bribe VECHR, this will lead to increased incentives for VECHR voters to vote on STAR pools for further incentives within the flywheel. Collectively, this collaboration will help Chronos and Sphere through Preon and Dyson grow in both volume and TVL, providing mutual and synergistic support and revenue. The synergy between Preon and Dyson, however, goes far beyond that. Preon is the next iteration in a line of experiments for how to build more stable pegs and more incentives for users to interact with the STAR stablecoin. The goal is to take as many high-quality productive assets as collateral as possible, while also creating a potent incentive model to do so. Chronos will of course play a key role in this process through incentivized STAR liquidity pools. Additionally, Preon will be the first CDP to take balancer pool tokens as collateral, opening opportunities for balancer users to enjoy yield while simultaneously collateralizing their position against a stablecoin to introduce a new level of capital efficiency. This process will involve users depositing their BPTs into Dyson, Dyson auto-compounding and amplifying the yield through Aura, and then Preon accepting the Dyson BPT receipt token as collateral. As the BPT collateral in Preon earns amplified and auto-compounded yield through balancer Dyson Aura, the value of that collateral will increase over time, lowering the user's liquidation risk and increasing their ability to borrow more STAR over time. What's more, Dyson can take part of the performance fees of these yield-amplified BPTs to bribe STAR stable pools for even further yield farming incentives. This, in combination with the collaboration with Chronos, will ensure that there will be ample incentivization for STAR to drive utilization and adoption. Initially, ETH and its variations will be the focus for collateral accepted within Preon. However, we are in touch with a few other protocols beyond Balancer to take additional LSDFi wrappers as collateral. There is also the possibility for the ARB token to be taken as collateral in the future, should yield-generating opportunities arise for the token. Now, since capital efficiency and yield generation is the name of the game, for non-yield-bearing collateral coming into Preon, a certain ratio can go into Dyson and then be yield farmed in diversified, battle-tested strategies. This is a similar concept as quantum liquidity, where a portion is stagnant for safety, but another portion can be actively used in yield farm strategies. This introduces yet another protocol of the Sphere ecosystem, Sphere Lend, which is a borrowing lending protocol similar to Aave, where users can lend and borrow against other crypto assets for yield. So other collateral from Preon can route through Dyson into Sphere Lend to provide yield for collateral depositors and additional revenue streams for Preon's eventual VE33 governance token, VE Preon. Now, this does introduce some added risk of deploying collateral for yield, Even so, Preon mitigates that risk by only using a portion of collateral coming in to yield farm via Dyson. Additionally, Dyson can use a diversified array of battle-tested yield-bearing strategies such as Aave and/or other strategies within the Sphere ecosystem that are secured behind time locks, multisigs, and extensive auditing. This is where safe yield for the purpose of capital efficiency is prioritized over risky yield. It also allows the Sphere ecosystem to work together to simplify complicated strategies and provide amplified yield at a low cost to all users. So ultimately, having multiple different high-quality yield-bearing collateral types within Preon and multiple incentivized yield farming opportunities for Star helps to increase the interest in the stablecoin and helps to strengthen its peg through diversification and deep liquidity. It also opens the door for Preon to collateralize assets from all over the Arbitrum ecosystem, helping to tie together the entire network with one decentralized stablecoin by offering a means of yield amplification for all users. Excited about Preon and interested in learning more? Visit us on Discord to stay up to date on announcements and join our community. This video and channel is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence in order to make sound financial decisions. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this AMA recap, and always remember that you matter for who you are. Chronos VE33 concentrate.